I know people been saying like how we know Kaido isn't just a dragon and it's not a devil fruit. Bruh, get out of here. Yo, the fact that we directly dealing with a Yonko right now is insane to me, bro. Think about where we came from. Now we're directly dealing with Kaido and Big Mom. That's the thing with the anime, bruh. They be just stretching shit, dog. Look at him. Like, what the fuck? What is this nigga doing? Did he just blow off this Gear Third with like a burp, bruh? Oh, that's clean. Okay, that's clean. I'm okay when the anime adds cool shit. Just don't change how things... I mean, that's completely different. Kaido didn't send 3 beams and Luffy dodged it, but that's clean. What is this? Yo, this is... Power scaling. Why Kaido legs so short? I think he look like a Smurf. What is this? Who passes out with their fist balled up? I can't lie. The animation in Trans sent Doflamingo and Katakuri flying. And Kaido just shrugged it off. A drunk Kaido. Bro, I'm not doing the 6-arm thing again. Yo, the last times we seen Gear 4th, he didn't have his sandals on. Now he does. Woo! What was that? Bro, like... Yo, Hawkins, you don't get what's coming to you, bro. I agree, Hawkins. Why did I enjoy that more than Luffy versus Kaido? Oh, cool. Last week I made a video talking about Luffy versus Kaido in the anime, and I did a reaction video where I reacted to the entire thing. If you would like to see the entire video, you can become a patron. But today I just wanted to give my thoughts on the overall thing and how it was interpreted, or rather adapted. I think overall I enjoy the One Piece anime for what it is. I no longer have super high expectations for every episode, but for certain moments I expect high quality and expect the moments to be impactful. I had high expectations for Luffy versus Katakuri in the anime, and it exceeded my expectations. It was actually better in the anime. Overall, I think Whole Cake was better in the anime. They added a lot of scenes in there in Whole Cake, but it wasn't too much where you felt like it was outside of the regular story. I mean, they did have Sanji fighting Peckhams, which is completely different as to what happened, but overall it was great. Some moments they downplayed, like I think when Sanji dodged Katakuri's jelly bean in the anime in Whole Cake Island, it was much ado about nothing. Honestly, it wasn't great at all. Luffy versus Katakuri was amazing. Big Mom in certain moments, they made her look very intimidating. Luffy and Nami versus Cracker, it started off really well, then they added some scenes in which Nami was blocking Cracker and stuff. Wasn't too bad, but some people had issues with certain animation styles, but I thought that the voice acting was great because I enjoyed Big Mom's voice actor very much. And they had the moment when Big Mom started chasing Luffy and Sanji. That was really well done in the anime, so I really enjoyed Whole Cake Island. Wano has been better, I think, overall in the anime, but they've taken on certain liberties that I can't get behind. I don't know, recently I made a video about One Piece, and it was about Oda, and Oda basically said that the anime and manga, they're different things, so he tells the animation studio not to fret about a lot of it. Don't worry about it, they're different. Going forward, it's hard to cite the anime for certain things. Of course, you can use it. I'm not going to say I'm going to dismiss it altogether, but it's really hard to cite it when you see episodes like this. So to the episode. Overall, I was expecting Luffy versus Kaido for it to be, fleshed out and for us to get great animation and throwing some parries and extending it out, right? I expected that. However, the things they added, I don't think it added to the fight. They just extended the scenes. And then some of the scenes that were extended, they were just bad. Luffy went at Kaido and he used several attacks. Kaido's about to use his blast breath again. Luffy shrugged it off with the elephant gun Gatling, his blast breath. Then Luffy comes with it looks like another Gear Third attack. Kaido shrugs him off with a burp. Then Kaido's hitting him with his tail, and the anime made it seem like Kaido was really trying to defeat Luffy while in his Zoan form. Like he was really trying. From what we got from this anime episode, you could say that Luffy beat Kaido while in Gear Third in his Zoan form. Like Luffy absolutely won that matchup. After Kaido leaves his Zoan form, Luffy proceeds to beat him up a little more, and that was shown in the manga as well, right? We had moments where Luffy went to Gear 4th, he was punching Kaido, then Kaido shrugged it off. I think the main issue with this episode is how they changed the narrative. In the manga, Kaido shows up, blows up Luffy's friends, Luffy gets mad, Gear Third out of nowhere, punches Kaido, overwhelms Kaido, sends blast breath, he avoids it, but then eventually Luffy knocks him down, knocks him out of his own form, Kaido gets up, Luffy goes Gear 4th, beats Kaido up a bit more, then Kaido, seemingly by the manga, just speed blitzes Luffy and knocks him out easily. In the anime episode, the speed blitz wasn't really a thing. In the anime episode, they changed it, or they interpreted it as kind of like the final between Luffy and Katakuri, where Luffy got a hit in and Kaido got a hit in, but it didn't affect Kaido at all, and Kaido one-shot Luffy. I think the fact that it wasn't a speed blitz and Luffy tried to go go mano a mano versus Kaido makes a lot of sense because Kaido doesn't seem like the fast, speedy type. But I think in the manga, it was more impactful because we didn't expect it. In this instance, it was kind of expected. Like, you're trying to go mano a mano versus Kaido. Based on how the anime episode flowed, he's getting a bunch of hits in on Kaido, and Kaido's just taking it. He's not even defending himself. He's just there taking it. And then, so it was expected. When Kaido actually tried, he was going to decimate Luffy. Because even in the manga, well, in the anime, they made it seem like Kaido drew his power from the sky because his eyes started glowing and then the sky started rumbling. Then Kaido, once he started using his mace, the lightning went from the sky to his mace, and then it was like the Thunder Bagua, which is great animation, but it changes the story. And let's not even start with Luffy going Kaioken. I'm not sure what that is about. Actually, I do know. It's a completely different animation style. I know the animation director is different this year, or for Wano, so they're taking on certain liberties, like I said before, to make things prettier. But at times it looks a bit cringy because you can tell they're copying DBZ. I mean, there's a moment where Luffy dodges, like Kaido sends 3 mini blast breaths. Luffy just casually dodges them, but he was using like instant transmission, it seems like. It looked beautiful, but it was like, whatever. But I loved it. It's a difficult thing for the animation studio right now because they're trying to adapt this material, but they can't adapt too much, so they have to extend it out. So for them, they're extending it by making more of the Kaido versus Luffy fight. I'm trying to understand it because they're in a tough position, because I think Oda kind of put him in this position where it's like, all right, I'm going to throw this fight out there, interpret it how you may, don't worry about it. You're animation studio, you're not me. It's completely different. Instead of kind of holding their feet to the fire a little bit and saying, hey, for this moment, I would like this. Of course, Oda is too busy to do all that, but we really can't take the anime as, you know, a backdrop for the manga. They're completely different entities at this point. It completely changed how things were perceived. That's all I can say. It changed how things were perceived. Now, the episode overall, I would rate it probably like 6 or 7 out of 10, roughly. So many things that wasn't as hype as in the manga. And then the anime still has the same issue of pacing, in which they just slow everything down. Even in my reaction, we were 5 minutes in before any new content. And then even after it was supposed to be new content, we had like another minute of recap where they showed the same attacks. The anime was never this bad back then. It's a 7 out of 10 because of Luffy versus Kaido. And I think last episode was a lot better than this episode, honestly. I think last episode, they took certain liberties as well, but it was just better executed. This one, it was almost difficult to watch at times. I'm just watching and it's like, what is going on? What is all this? I enjoy the One Piece anime because it brings the manga to life and you can experience different emotions. The OSTs, that's what I grew up on, or that's the One Piece that I experienced. But I feel like they're going a route of aesthetic over quality. The purpose here is to show how pretty we can make it as opposed to how accurate we can adapt the source material. I'm not asking for a one-to-one adaptation because that's impossible with the pacing issues and trying to keep the manga away from the anime in regards to distance as far as covered material. But man, it's not an enjoyable show when things like this happen. For the most part, you're getting Luffy versus Kaido, but in a way it starts to get repetitive because Luffy's using Gear 3rd over and over. I don't know, man. This episode wasn't a great episode. It was good, and that's because of Luffy versus Kaido. Just the hype of Luffy versus Kaido. And then the Thunder Bagua, while it wasn't the same impact as in the manga, it was still well done. Like, they slowed it down and Luffy got obliterated, sent into the wall. I really enjoyed Law versus Hawkins. That interaction was great in the anime. Now we see how Law got away from Hawkins, because in the manga, it was kind of like, okay, how did Hawkins let Law escape even though he hit him with Sea Stone Nail? Law, of course, with his ability and all the rubble around, it's easy to switch with something else. And even Hawkins is like, yo, that's an annoying ability, which was funny. So I enjoyed that a lot, but the Luffy versus Kaido thing was just stretched out a bit too much, and they added so many things, and they panned and they slowed it down, and they milked it, man. They really milked this anime episode. So, and the Luffy Kaioken thing, oh my god, I don't know what that is. Like, if you're just an anime only watcher saying, oh, that must be Luffy developing new haki, that must be really cool in the manga. That's not in the manga. Luffy doesn't do that. Luffy doesn't start glowing and have an insane aura about him. Leave your thoughts, man. How did you feel about this episode? I thought it was okay. 6 to 7 out of 10. And now I'm starting to lead towards a 6, honestly. But leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you thought. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. You will be able to watch this entire reaction video on Patreon. If you're one of my patrons, I will be doing that going forward every week for different anime episodes. One Piece, Boku no Hero Academia, of course, ReZero when it comes out, different things. But yeah, that's about it. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Again, like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.